They say the hardest thing in the world to be is to try to be someone else. The easiest thing in life to be is to be yourself. I say it's a lie. That's a lie. In my humble opinion, I think the easiest thing to be in life is to actually be somebody else, to pretend like somebody else, to actually try to be somebody else. You know why? Because you got reference points. If you want to be like your favorite celebrity, you got a reference point of how to act. You got a whole template of how to be somebody else. You don't have a template how to be yourself. And to be yourself, you got to get to know yourself. You got to find out deeply inside you who you are. What do you like? You got to learn to not allow society to control your thinking patterns, to control what you like and don't like. A lot of us think that we're in control of who we are and what we like and don't like, and we're not. You think that you went and got that bacon cheeseburger from Wendy's because you just was craving the bacon cheeseburger, but it really was the fact that that commercial ran about 5 times in the last 20 minutes, and by the 5th time it ran, in your mind you said, I want a bacon cheeseburger. By the 5th time you've seen it, you can actually smell it through TV. But you thought that you went and bought it because you wanted. Truthfully, it was controlled. Because like I said, the hardest part in life is you. And not following someone else. But what if following somebody else actually can benefit you? What if taking parts of other people's life and templates from other people's life can contribute to your success? What if? I mean, let's think about it, people. Think about it. Power Rangers, okay? Power Rangers are made up of these different fighters. You got the Pink Ranger, you got the Green Ranger, you got the White Ranger, the Red Ranger, the Black Ranger. And these fighters are very good at martial arts, and they sitting there fighting the bad guy, and they getting in with them. But at the end, when do Power Rangers really defeat the enemy? It's when they morph into this one robot where each Power Ranger take their individual skills and create to be one big robot. In that moment, they whoop that goddamn enemies behind. No matter how big the enemy is, no matter how big the monster is, that's when they destroy him. It's when they morph together to become one big power. So I put it to you like this, people. What if you can be you, right? What if you can be you, but you take your superpowers and you learn from other people's superpowers. You take from other people's superpowers you see. You take from lessons you learn from other people and you morph them together with you to make yourself into a superpower to conquer all these dreams that you have, to conquer, overcome all this fear that you have in your life, this anxiety in life. What if you was you, but you were willing to adapt by taking other people's superpowers and learn from other people to create a much stronger, more powerful you. And I'm not saying being them, because that's the confusion thing that happens. See, I had this conversation with my wife. I said, see, I tell you stuff and I teach you stuff, not because I want you to be me. I want to be you to be better than me. So I told her, I said, you know what I do? I learn from other people. I said, I learn from other people. See, I don't want people's mistakes and their goodness to go in vain. So, I got family members that had alcoholism problems. That's why I don't drink. I have family members who smoke cigarettes, and some people that got lung cancer. That's why I don't smoke cigarettes. I got people who got hooked on drugs, cocaine, powerful drugs, heroin. That's why I don't do it, because I seen how it made them lose jobs, opportunities. That's why I didn't do it, because, see, those people's lives, the template in their lives taught me what can happen if I make those mistakes. I don't want those mistakes to happen in vain. The same way I look at those people's mistakes, I look at people and I see the greatness they do. I talk about my mother-in-law on this show often. And let me tell you something about her. The most determined person I ever met in my life, besides my wife, is my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law, I seen her buy not one Benz, but 3 Benzes by herself. Not with anybody else's help. I'm not saying she couldn't do it. It's not okay to have anybody's help, but I seen her do it. And the determination that it took, the discipline it took for her to save up to buy her Benz because she knew that she wanted it. It taught me determination. It taught me determination and ability to be disciplined to fight for what I want. So what I did, I treated like them Power Rangers. I took that determination, that discipline that my mother-in-law has. I want to add that to my arsenal because I'm trying to build myself to be this mighty morphin Power Ranger, this strong Power Ranger, so I can overcome things. So I took that discipline that she had, that determination she had, and I added. My wife is one of the most creative, determined women I ever see in my life. Let me tell you something, man. My wife just refused to let anything defeat her. Me and my wife differ in this, okay? I'll give you an example of my wife's determination. we'd be putting together a TV stand or something, right? This is true story, people. And I'd be getting frustrated with the directions. I'm sitting there looking at the directions, and I'm sitting there reading the directions. I'm like, man, these directions are all over the place. And I'm sitting here reading the directions, and I'm getting frustrated because I can't figure it out. So I'm like, yo, I gotta take a step back. Like most of us do, I'm like, yo, I gotta take a step back from these directions. I'm getting frustrated. I can't think clear. My wife is different. Okay, she's determined. She's like, yo, I ain't taking a step back. I'm going to figure this out. This is not going to defeat me. That's what she'll say. This is not going to defeat me. I'm like, what you mean? You know this is not personal, right? You know it's not like an actual thing that's trying to beat you, right? You know what I mean? But she is like, yo, I don't care what it is. It's not going to defeat me. I'm going to figure out these instructions. And I'll sit over there to a corner trying to get my head together. She just sit there reading the instructions, still into it, still teetering with the screwdriver and stuff. She's just sitting there messing with it, and she's trying to figure it out. And eventually what she does is she figures it out. And what I learned from her is she don't give up. My wife doesn't give up easy. And I'm not saying I gave up, but I need to take a break. But she don't give up. She's not going to let things defeat her so easy. She's willing to fight for what she wants. She's not going to give up because things get hard. She's going to fight through those tough times. She's going to continue to try to figure it out. So I said, yo, I need to take that. I need a piece of that because I need to add that to my arsenal. Because like I said, I need to go take a break and, sit down, get my head together. But I said, yo, I need to take that and add that to my arsenal because I'm trying to become this Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. I learned something from my wife. That I need to have that. You got people in your life that have all kinds of different talents. And that's not to say you don't have a talent. All of us have a power. All of our powers or superpowers are different. Just like the Power Rangers, all of our superpowers are different. Some of our superpowers is our creativity. Some of our superpowers are our discipline, our determination, our motivation, our ability to not only create, but to tackle and achieve goals. We all have different superpowers. But the greatness about it is, what we get confused is, where we figure if we're taking a piece of somebody else's superpower, then what we're doing is we copy them. Well, what I say is, yo, copy away. Because I'm doing Shogun copy you. Shoot, if you doing something that I see is great, I'm like, yo, I need to borrow a piece of that, bro. I'm borrowing a piece of that. You can call me a copier. Yep, I've got both hands up. I'm a copier. Yep. I stole a piece of that from them because I'm trying to build myself up to be a giant Power Ranger. I want to defeat these enemies. I know when I go to war against my dreams, when I go to war against fear, fear can be a giant monster. Anxiety can be a giant monster. Depression can be a giant monster. Failure can be a giant monster. Success can be guarded by a giant monster. So when I go against these things, I need to make sure I'm the most powerful being I could be. I need to understand that within me, I'm the core. Who I am is the core of who I am. When you have Power Rangers and they come together, they don't change who they are when they come together. They understand that there's so much power in unity. There's so much power there. So they don't change who they are. They come together and continue to be them. When they unmorph and they jump down from the robot, they go back to being them because they never change. What they did was each individual bring a piece to the table to create this one powerful individual. So what I'm saying to you do is take pieces. Take pieces of me. Go back and listen to Champion episode. Go back to listen to Champion episode I did on here. Trophies, that's what it's called. Sorry, Trophies. Go listen to Trophies. And listen to what I talk about, people. What did I talk about? I talk about the time where I started a job and I got a bad, review on my job and how I worked together to get a 1, go up from a 4 to a 1 and how I did it. I'm not saying that to boast and tell you like, yeah, man, I achieved something. I'm telling you that because like Hansel and Gretel, I'm leaving breadcrumbs that I want you to pick up so you can follow your way to success. I'm telling you what I do to make me successful because I'm trying to help you become successful. My goal is, with this show, with me standing here talking to you every single Sunday, is to teach you how to find your success, how to achieve your success, how to use a piece of me to help you build that giant robot to make you successful to conquer whatever's standing in front of your way. I don't know what's standing in front of your way right now. Only you know that. But what I'm telling you is, yo, take a piece of whatever I do. Whatever I do well, take a piece of it. Whatever superpower that you see that I have, every superpower I teach you on here, take a piece of it. Don't be afraid. And think that because you took a piece that, oh, no, I'm trying to be him, or he wants me to be Alan. No, I don't want you to be Alan. I want you to be better than me. I want you to achieve higher than me. I want you to be more successful than me. So when I tell you that, I'm like, yo, here's a step up. This is what I did to get where I am. Now take that step and then build on that step. The only thing I ask for is to reach back and help somebody else behind you. Leave some breadcrumbs behind you so that you can help somebody else build up. Leave something for someone else so they can take a piece of that power you got and they can build themselves up to be a robot. Don't be selfish. Be selfless. Allow yourself to be great. Like I started this off saying, people say the hardest thing to be is somebody else. The easiest thing is to be yourself. It's hard to be yourself because a lot of times, again, we don't know who we are. We don't know who we are. It's important that we don't allow ourselves to get so wrapped up in building this giant Power Ranger robot that we just start taking pieces from everywhere else, but forget the core of the robot. Forget the core of what it is. The core is you. But you gotta recognize what you are. Sometimes you gotta turn off all the noise. All the noise, people. Sometimes you gotta turn off all the noise. I'm talking about you gotta turn on the TV, the radio, you gotta turn your phone off, you gotta turn your relatives off, you gotta turn your family off. Hell, you gotta turn this podcast off because sometimes this podcast can be a noise. Me talking can be a noise that's distracting you from hearing your voice, from understanding who you truly are. You gotta turn off the noise, people. You gotta turn off the noise to find out who you are as a core, who you are and what you really want, what you really trying to achieve out of life. You gotta ask yourself, what's your goal? Not what's my goal for you, not what's your mom goal for you, your dad goal for you. What's your goal? What's success for you? Then you gotta ask yourself, what's standing in front of your goal? What's standing in front of you achieving it? If you try to lose weight, what's standing in front of you achieving losing weight? And when you recognize what's standing in front of it, okay, you know, my bad eating habits may stand from it. Lack of exercise might be standing in front of it. My lack of discipline might be standing in front of it. Whatever it is, then you got to start saying, okay, but what power do you have? What power do you have to achieve your goal? And when you dig inside your core, you might say to yourself, all right, the power I do have is I have the ability to recognize my mistakes and my shortcomings and what I need to do. And one of the things I need to do is, one of my powers in recognizing what I need to do is I need to use that elliptical that I'm staring at right now, or that stationary bike, or that treadmill I'm staring at right now. The power I have is that I do have determination because, you know, like my wife, you know, she had, my mother-in-law, she had the determination, my wife. My wife had the determination where, like, yo, I'm not giving up on these instructions. I'm going to figure it out, and that's her superpower. So if I use that determination and make that my core, my determination is my core that I can do this, then I can build on from that. And how can I build on from that to make this ultimate robot, you ask? Okay, my core is determination. I found out inside me I have determination. Not because I'm saying it, but because in other aspects of my life, I've shown determination. When it's time to put together that TV stand, I use my determination like my wife did. So what do you say? Look at the show and you say, well, Alan the Great's mom, his mother-in-law, she had discipline. And what I mean by she had discipline, she was disciplined enough to sit here and save money to buy her Mercedes. There was other things she could spend the money on. I'm pretty sure she's seen that new Michael Kors bag, Michael Kors coat. They had a new Apple phone. Now, there's plenty of things she could have spent her money on. But she was disciplined enough to say, yo, I'm saving this money towards buying a Mercedes. So when my mother-in-law did that, then you say to yourself, okay, my core is my determination. But I'm going to take that discipline that Alan Great's mother-in-law has. And I'm going to add that to my core. I'm going to add that to this robot because, see, that discipline is going to teach me to be disciplined when I'm trying to lose weight, to not eat those cupcakes, to not fall victim to those candy bars that I usually eat, to drinking that Pepsi that's always at the counter, checkout counter, to not reach for those sweet snacks. So now I'm disciplined to know that, yo, I'm focusing on my goal of losing weight. I'm disciplined enough to not allow myself to fall victim to the sweets. I'm adding that to my arsenal into this robot. But you got to continue to build. Because like I said, people, your core is your determination to achieve your goal. Then you can look at me. I'm good at planning strategy. Good strategy, okay? Here's one of my strategies, people. If I can't outsmart you, I'm damn sure I'm going to outwork you. If you're harder working than me, I'm going to outsmart you. What I won't do is I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to lose, people. So if I'm in a situation and you're smarter than me, I promise you, I guarantee you, I'm going to work 3 to 4 times harder than you at achievement of completing the task. If you work harder than me, I'm going to outsmart you and figure out the fastest way to complete the task. Either way, my goal, my power is I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to let you beat me. And if you do beat me, I'm coming back again. And I'm going to keep coming back until I beat you. I'm going to strategize and figure out a way to defeat you. In any task, in any accomplishment that you do, any beast that you try to fight, and right now we focus on weight loss, people. Weight loss. Building a Power Ranger to complete weight loss. Strategy is a key component. A key component of not losing to the fact that this weight, stubborn weight, don't want to come off the body. We're building a Power Ranger, okay? We're building a Power Ranger. So what you say is, yo, let me take Alan's strategy and his mindset that he's not going to lose. Because when I'm in the gym and I'm competing, I need to add this towards my robot to build this perfect Power Ranger robot to defeat this task that stand for me. And right now, the task we talk about, people, because I want to make sure y'all stay on focus, is this weight loss. So now we got determination, we got discipline, and now we got strategy. Now this robot is starting to come together, okay? It's starting to come together. We're starting to build this Mighty Morphin Power Ranger right now. We're strategizing, people. We're keeping to our core. Your core is what? Your determination, people. But we still need to build, people. We still need to build. Because with anything you do, any goal that you have, you got to have focus. You got to be able to lock in. You have to be able to lock in and focus and be attention to detail, focus. One of the most important people I know who has attention to detail and focus is my father. My father is very attention to detail. One of the most smartest people I ever met in my life. He helps create, design, and build smart cards. It takes a lot of focus to do what he does. It takes a lot of strength and ability to do that. He's a very intelligent man. If you can take that focus and you can put it to your task, if you can add it to building determination, strategy, discipline, and you add focus to it, what does that do? To help you keep in focus and keep focus on the task at hand. Keep focus on what's stopping you, what's ahead of you. Sometimes what we need to do and why focus is so important is because we get distracted. Most of the times, like I said earlier, people, you got to turn off the podcast. You got to turn off the TV. You got to turn off your phone. You got to turn off your radio because we get distracted from our goals. We get distracted from what we're working towards. And those distractions tear us off our road, off our what we're trying to accomplish. And when we talk about weight loss, we're trying to accomplish weight loss, people. We're building a Power Ranger to accomplish weight loss. And a lot of times, focus is the most important thing because you have to narrowly block out all the noise around you. When my dad is building an electric car, design electric car, he has to block out doubt. He has to block out the naysayers and the people saying, yo, you can't do this and you can't do that. And the people trying to distract him away from his task, he has to focus because if he doesn't do what he's supposed to do, somebody might be driving an electric car down the street or taking a road trip and it's set on fire because he was distracted. So he understands he has to lock in, he has to focus, he has to have tunnel vision when he's focused on his task. You gotta have the same. Creativity. That's a superpower right there. Creativity. Now, I can use my wife again with creativity because she's, again, one of the most creative people in the world. I'm not trying to hear boast my wife, but I'm really speaking from true facts. My wife is very creative, but you know what? I'm not going to use my wife twice because I already used her with determination. So I'm going to use my son. My son's very creative. You know, I like it that he's creative. I have a 12-year-old son, very creative. He likes to build robots. He has an amazing imagination. And I think it's great that children have imagination. I always tell them, it's important that you maintain your imagination because it is a superpower. And you're like, nah, Dad, everybody has imagination. I'm like, no, son, not everybody has an imagination because once you get older, you start to lose your imagination. You lose your ability to create things. Imagination is important to building this robot, to build this Power Ranger robot. Imagination is very important. Why is imagination important? Because we're talking about diet here. You got to imagine yourself being in the body that you want to be in and not seeing yourself when you look in the mirror in the body that you're in. You got to use your imagination to visualize what you want to be. I'm talking about you with that Coke bottle shape, the cloud. You want that? Then you got to focus on using your imagination when you look in the mirror and seeing what you want to be and not who you are. You got to use creativity because, see, let me tell you something about dieting, okay? Dieting can be very mundane and like, yeah, especially when you gotta make your food. See, when you gotta eat oatmeal and stuff, look, if you ate oatmeal, oatmeal for the first couple days is not that fine. That's not that bad. But oatmeal gets real crazy when after a while, you're like, yeah, I'm getting tired of eating oatmeal. And then your creativity, imagination have to kick in. And you gotta start mixing things up and find new ways to make oatmeal seem exciting. You gotta find new ways to make salad seem exciting. Because you sitting there looking at lunch table with your bestie, and y'all eating lunch at work, and your bestie sitting there got that chicken cheese steak with lettuce, tomatoes, hot peppers, fried onions on it. Somebody getting hungry right now. They got some cheese fries on there with the ketchup on it. Man, they got that giant 32-ounce Dr. Pepper. Man, they about to get it in. And you sitting over here with a lettuce salad with fat-free dressing. You got to get creative with your salad. You got to get creative, because if you don't have creativity, if you don't have imagination, then you're going to fall victim saying, man, damn this salad, man. Look, man, let me get a piece of that cheesesteak. You ain't gonna, that's a large. You know damn well you ain't gonna eat that whole cheesesteak. Let me get half of it, and let me get some of them fries. To avoid yourself from falling victim to that, you gotta use your imagination to create a salad that captures your appetite. That makes that salad, you gotta be able to use your creativity and your imagination to make that salad look just as appealing as that cheesesteak with those cheese fries and that large Dr. Pepper. You gotta be very creative with your meal plan when you want to diet. So you have to take that creativity, that imagination, the creativity to make your salad and your food be something that seems appealing, that makes you desire to eat it. But you also got to use your imagination, so when you look in the mirror, you don't see your body as it's currently in its state of form, but you imagine yourself in the form that you want to be in. You imagine yourself fitting into that dress that you always wanted to wear. You imagine yourself, my fellas, fitting in those skinny jeans so you feel like a young boy. You no longer look like a letter P because your legs look all skinny and your upper body looking all big. But you imagine yourself as looking like the letter I, where you fit some skinny jeans and you put that shirt on, you looking a little slimmer. You look like your old self when you did back in the day. But you gotta use your imagination and your creativity. My son has that. So now you add that to your arsenal. Add that to your robot. Look at you people. Yo, your Power Ranger robot's starting to come together real nice, isn't it? What do we got there? Let's go back. Let's reflect real quick. What do we got so far? We got determination. We got discipline. We got strategy. We got focus. And now we got creativity and imagination. Oh, man, we starting to get there, aren't we? We building something. Because we didn't forget that our core is our determination. You're not turning into my father because you got his focus. You're not turning to my son because you got his creativity and his imagination. You're not turning to my wife because you got her determination. You're not turning to my mother-in-law because you got her discipline. You're not turning to me because you got my strategy. Because your focus is your core values still exist, but you're adding to it to make you stronger. Stronger because you're learning from other people who had success in other aspects of the world. And you're taking from them to make you stronger. Because let me tell you something. Whatever you're dealing with right now, whatever stands in front of you, right now we're using salad. I must be hungry. We're using dieting as our monster that we try to defeat right now. And yours may be different. Yours may be something simple like, getting over dating a bad men and finding bad women and bad relationships. You maybe try to get over anxiety or depression. Whatever your monster is, all these things that we're talking about right now, all these things we're building is going to help you conquer them. All these things are going to help you conquer whatever monster you're building. Because what we're building is this giant robot that's being created to destroy whatever is in front of us. We understand it's hard to be us. It's easy to be someone else. So what we're going to take the hard thing we're doing. This is what we're doing. We're taking the hard thing it is, which is being us, and we're taking the easy thing it is by taking templates and pieces of other people to add on to what we currently are. But remember what I said, people. We first have to find out who we are. And in order to do that, the first thing we got to do is what? Turn off all the noise, the distractions, so we can listen and become in tune with ourselves. Don't fall victim to that Popeyes commercial where Megan Stallion's telling you that hottie sauce is out at Popeyes and you can put it on the chicken sandwich and get the sauce to dip in your nuggets. You don't need the hottie sauce, okay? You trying to turn into a hottie or your version of a hottie. You try to get over the anxiety. So we gotta leave that hot sauce alone for a minute. We're gonna leave that alone. We're gonna turn off that TV so we don't keep seeing a commercial and be tempted to go buy a chicken sandwich from Popeyes. Okay? You gotta do it, people. The point is, people, as we build our robot and we build our Power Ranger, we have to understand and focus on the core value. We got to understand what all the pieces of a Power Ranger is and how all these different people, the Green Ranger, the Pink Ranger, the White Ranger, the Black Ranger, is there a Yellow Ranger? I don't remember. Yeah, the Yellow Ranger. How all these different people come together, the Red Ranger do, and they come together and they build this one big robot to take on and conquer their enemies. And you have to imagine yourself in the same light as a Power Ranger, where you build and taking all these different factors. You're taking, keeping, and remaining the core of yourselves. Like I told you, remember, all these Power Rangers come together in unity to fight against this monster. They take all these different powers, and all these different powers come together to fight. But what they remember is, and they remain them. So when they leave, they remain in their core. They remain who they are. Even in the midst of the battle, they remain who they are, okay? So you're remaining who you are. You're staying true to yourself, but you have to start to say, yo, I'm going to pull from all these different places, all these different people, and I'm going to create who I am, this giant robot, because I understand this fear, this anxiety, this stress is standing in front of me, and it's trying to defeat me. This diet is trying to defeat me, and I'm not going to let it, because now I got discipline. Now I got strategy. Now I got creativity and imagination. I got focus. I got determination. And I'm going to use all these things to conquer, because I know adding all these things to my core value is making me a stronger person, making me be able to achieve and accomplish any goal. And you can take on anything you're focusing if you're willing to become a Power Ranger. Because remember this, if you don't remember anything else I said, people, united we stand, but separate we fall. It's not about trying to be someone else. It's trying to be the best version of you. And you can do it by being. It's not about being me, being like me. It's about learning from my mistakes, learning from other people's mistakes. It's about sometimes turning off the noise and distractions so you can get in tune with your core value. Then when you turn it back on, then you start to look for pieces that you can start to pull together to build your robot. Build your Power Ranger, people. Get in touch with who you are, your determination, your focus, your strategy, your imagination, your creation, your discipline, so that you can be the best version of you. I want to thank you for joining me for another episode of Past the Present Podcast. This episode was brought to you by my wife, who told me to do this episode. I had a whole other episode planned, but she told me to do this one. So I'm doing it for you. I love you, babe. Thank you for this, and thank you for telling me to do this. Until next time, people, stay tuned, stay focused. Peace.